Uh, I'll mute my computer. Hi, everybody. I'm Randy, and I'm an alcoholic. I also have a disease called alcoholism. The reason that I am here today at this meeting with you is because I have alcoholism, and my disease needs to be treated. Uh, uh, I'm not here to teach you anything. I'm not here to enlighten you. I'm not here to do anything for you because I can't even do it for myself. I'm here because I have a disease. And if I don't know that I have that disease and I don't treat that disease, then I truly suffer from alcoholism today in the day that I'm in. And I get to be reminded by coming to a meeting. We talked a little about that second step last week, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the second step today. But at the end of the second step, it says this. It says, true humility and an open mind can lead me to faith. And every AA meeting is an assurance that God will restore me to sanity if I rightly relate myself to him. And I know I talk about this all the time, but it's so important. Coming to a meeting, just coming to a meeting with alcoholism and sitting down and doing what I always do, which is self-talk, talking to myself about what's wrong in my life and what I need to do to fix it. And if I just had that much money, then I'd be okay. Or if I just got rid of her, I'd be okay. Or if I just got a new her, I'd be okay. Or if I just got a new job, I'd be okay. Coming to a meeting and sitting down and doing what I do all day long, this self-talking, unsatisfiable, fault-finding, opinionated mind, if I do that in a meeting, I will not be restored to sanity. It'll just be another hour and a half that I pass during the course of my day doing what I always do, which is talking to myself. But every AA meeting is an assurance that God will restore me to sanity if I come to the meeting and I start rightly relating myself to my higher power. So the meeting is a reminder that there's something wrong with me, that I have a disease called alcoholism. Doesn't matter if I drank or didn't drink today, I still have alcoholism. And that if I'm not rightly relating myself to this higher power, then I am not going to be restored to sanity in the moment that I'm in. And I'm just going to have more alcoholism in the day that I'm in. I became alcoholic because I drank too much alcohol. I drank too much alcohol because I have a mind-powered disease that tells me that everything is wrong, that you're wrong, my job's wrong, my house is wrong, everything in my life is wrong, and I'm never going to be happy, so I might as well drink, and the drink is the medicine that makes everything okay in the moment that I'm in. So alcohol was my medicine, not my problem. It became a problem when I took the medicine too much and I became allergic to the medicine. Then I would go and drink to get some ease and comfort, and I would get blackouts and craziness and lost jobs and trashed relationships, and it began ruining my life. The thing that was helping me became the thing that was killing me. So I can never, ever drink alcohol again, ever successfully. It's over. There's no more good times left for me drinking. But that is not what's wrong with me today. What's wrong with me is this unsatisfiable, fault-finding, opinionated mind. What's wrong with me is that I still try to manage my life. My life is what goes on inside of me. I try to manage my thoughts, and the more I try to manage my thoughts, the more crazy I get, and the more closer I get to a drink of alcohol. So what's wrong with me is my mind. This obsessive, unsatisfiable, fault-finding, opinionated mind. And when I can see that, then I get to a place where I stand ready to do anything which will lift this merciless obsession. Not alcohol. If it is alcohol, I'm sorry. And what I found for myself was what they told me in meetings: ask something that you don't believe in at all. Ask that something to help you with your obsession to drink. And what I found was, after a few months of asking this something every day to help me with my alcohol obsession, that obsession got removed. and I don't think about alcohol. I don't obsess about it. Once in a while, while I was riding around France on my bicycle during the Tour de France in 2004, and we all got to the end of the day and we sat around the table and all of my friends could drink wine and eat cheese and look happy, I thought, man, I wish I could have a glass of wine. And I thought about it like 6 times. Wouldn't it be great if I could have a glass of wine? And on the 7th time, I thought, I don't want a glass of wine. It'd be great if I could drink a case of wine. I never liked a glass of wine or a beer or a shot of tequila. That was never why I drank. I drank for oblivion. It was a case of tequila, a case of wine, a case of beer. And then we're starting to get into something that might be the slightest bit interesting to me. So when I get to the place where I stand ready to do anything which will lift my merciless obsession, I walk into the second step. And the second step says, came to believe that a power greater than myself could restore me to sanity. It doesn't say, became willing to believe that there might be a power greater than myself. If it said that, then the way that most people work the step would be great. Okay, the way I did it when I first came in, we did the first step. Are you powerless over alcohol? Yes, I am. I black out. I trash cars. I trash relationships. I can't stop when I start. I don't know what's going to happen. I have no control. Yes, I'm powerless over alcohol. And then he said, okay, I want you to write 20 reasons why your life is unmanageable. And all my 20 reasons had to do with my outsides, my jobs, my cars, my bank accounts, my girlfriends, my relationships, and how unmanageable all of that was. And then we went to step 2 and we read out of the books and we talked a lot. And then he said, we're going to do step 2 today. And I said, okay. And he said, are you willing to believe that there's a power greater than yourself? And I said, yes, I'm willing to believe that. I wasn't drinking. Something was happening. I was willing to believe that there was a power greater than myself. Then we went on to step 3 and we got on our knees and I prayed to a God that I had no understanding of. None, zero. I never had religion in my life. I couldn't believe all the terrible things that happened in the world, that there could really be a God that had anything to do with that. None of it made sense. But I did the prayer because my sponsor said we're at step 3. And if you don't do step 3, then I can't be your sponsor anymore. So we did it. And I did the rest of the steps like that, like a chore. And I was 2.5 years sober and life got very heavy again. All of the problems I had when I was drinking, I was having not drinking, except for the blackouts. So it was all painfully apparent to me what was happening in my life, and I hated it. I had the wrong girl, the wrong job, the wrong amount of money in the bank, the wrong apartment. I lived in the wrong part of town. Everything was wrong, especially for a guy like me, such a great guy with 2.5 years of sobriety. So I found a sponsor there because I would move to a new city and I found a new sponsor and I was wanting to kill myself every day without alcohol, even though I was sober. And he started talking about we have to go back and we have to start applying these steps to your life as a way of life. So step 2 is no longer a willingness to believe. Step 2 is a coming to believe that there's a power, that power is greater than me, and that power is the power that restores me to sanity. So I had to do something. I had to start searching and researching again and again with an open mind. A scientific principle, I had to apply it in my life. I had to start searching and researching whether or not there was a power greater than myself that could restore me to sanity, and if it would, if I did what it said in the book, which is rightly relate myself to that power. So I say, power, here I am. I'm angry. I feel cheated in life. I feel like I'm not getting my fair share. I don't understand why this girl is so hard to live with. I'm going to need some help. Could you help me? And I start putting my attention on the power in the moment that I'm in right now. Power, could you be with me in this room? Could you help me hear what the speaker's saying? so that I don't have to hear what I've been saying to myself all day long, maybe even for the last 6 years. Could you help me be here now? Could you help me hear something? Could you help me be the man that you want me to be? And all of a sudden, as I start doing that in my life, I start to get moments of peace where I sit in a meeting and I'm not finding fault with the tea, and I'm not finding fault with the chair that I got, and I'm not finding fault with the person that's sitting next to me, and I'm not finding fault with the speaker, and I'm not judging and criticizing and figuring out everything. And I have a moment of peace right here, right now. One moment. Wow. That peace is sanity. That quietness where that self-talking mind is quiet for one moment, that's sanity. And I get to have that, but I only get to have it right now. The only moment that I can have this is right now. You know, it says in here, it says this: listen, if you will, to these 3 statements. First, Alcoholics Anonymous does not demand that you believe anything. All of its 12 steps are but suggestions. What that means is you don't have to agree with me. I don't care if you agree with me, not one bit. But what I have to do is I have to try this for my own life so that I could believe that it's true or it's not true. But not believe because you told me that something and I agree with what you said, and so now I believe because I agree. That's not what's being asked in step 2. It's not about agreeing that there's a higher power. It's about coming to believe that there is this higher power and that this higher power restores me to sanity, and it's mine. It's mine. It's my experience. It's my belief. I believe that there is a higher power that does restore me to sanity in this moment because I have my own experience with it. And you can't have it. And I couldn't read it out of a book. And it doesn't happen by accident. And it doesn't happen because I didn't drink today. It doesn't even happen because I went to a meeting today. It happens because right now, in this moment, I search and research with an open mind. An open mind is not open-mindedness. An open mind is a mind that's free of self. No preconceived ideas. No opinions. It's open to what's happening in this moment with no story about it. Can you imagine that? To be free in this moment, to have a new experience without all of that old ideas attached to everything that I see. It's a beautiful, beautiful, free, open, sane, quiet, beautiful moment right here, right now. Only because my higher power says so. Not because I say so. Because I judge everything that's happening right now on my old ideas, on my old experience, on my story. Everybody in this room right now is having their own experience of what's happening in this room. And I promise you, if we all went outside later and one at a time told our experience of what happened in this room, every single one of us had a different experience, only because we bring all of our old experience to this experience right now, and we experience it the way that we can, as the character that we are. So nobody's experiencing this moment the same. I have to let go of my old ideas or the result is nil. That's what I'm talking about. An open mind is no old ideas. Everything that I know up until this moment right now is an old idea. I could only have an open mind right now, right here. And I can only come to believe for myself that there's a power greater than myself by rightly relating myself to this higher power and having a new experience right now. Nobody can do it for me. Nobody can talk me into it. I can't agree with it and have the experience. I have to do it. I have to go for it. I have to practice the principle of an open mind right now. And I have to practice the principle of sharing my life with a higher power in order to have the experience of coming to believe. And there is no step 3 without step 2. There's no way. There's no way I can make a decision to turn my will and my life over to the care of God as I understood him if I don't understood him. What is understood is that when I share my life with this higher power, I have an experience. And the experience that I have over and over and over again is that I get restored to sanity. When I stop talking to myself and I start talking to something, I have a different experience. And now I can make a decision. Do I want to continue talking to myself, or do I want to turn my will and my life over to the care of God? I can take it back anytime I want, and I do all the time. But I can make a decision right now because I know what the decision is. That's what's being offered here. Something real, something concrete, something that has depth and weight that I can do, that I can have my own experience, and I don't have to trust and rely on you or anybody else to have it. And you can't take it from me, and I can't give it to you. I am coming to believe right now in this moment more that there's a power, and that power is greater than me. And that power that's greater than me is the power that's restoring me to sanity. No more self-talk necessary. All those voices that I talk to all day long, not necessary. I could be restored to sanity right here, right now. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful and it's so simple. And we just miss it so much of the time. I do. So thank you for letting me share. I'm so looking forward to hearing your experience with coming to believe, or your aversion to doing it. That would be awesome also. But if we share our experience with practicing these principles, if we share it together right here in this room, we all go deeper into that awareness of what this is all about. That's why this meeting isn't talking about how bad your boss is, or how bad your job is, or how bad your apartment is. It's about looking inside and seeing who I am today. Who was I today? Did I practice this today? Am I building a new character today, or am I building old character more? Anyway, that's enough out of me. Thank you for letting me share.